1985's Legend, directed by Ridley Scott, is a fantasy film. And while it's not a horror film, it's also an incredible monster movie.
I sit alone, an impotent exile. Once this force, this presence, returns to torment me.
This is a film that really gave us one of the most iconic movie monsters of all time, and that is Darkness. Darkness, portrayed by Tim Curry, is staggering. He's frightening. It's a real feat. It's a physical and almost architectural feat that both Ridley Scott and makeup designer and prosthetic designer Rob Bottin achieved.
Can you speak so of your bridal gown? I've found my true mate. And you know it.
Never.
Beneath the skin, we are already one.
This is an instance where you had a performer sitting in a makeup chair for 5.5 hours, undergoing full body prosthetics to an extent that not a single inch of his skin or his real features are on display in the film. Darkness features 3.5 feet fiberglass horns that were so heavy for Tim Curry to carry that they had to be supplemented with a harness. Tim Curry's entire body is covered up. Even his eyes are not visible as he's wearing scleral lenses. This is an incredible performance because it would have been so physically taxing as this monster, and yet it's a very expressive performance. You're seeing a full range of emotions in Darkness.
I offer you this rose, princess. My heart, my soul, my love.
Love?
There are a lot of other monsters in Legend that are equally scary, even though they don't get as much screen time. Looking at Darkness's minions, there are some incredible monster effects here. And one of the best of the goblins, his most loathsome goblin, in fact, is Blix.
Truly, master.
And is your heart black and full of hate?
Black as midnight, black as pitch, blacker than the foulest witch.
Blix is very playful as a monster and portrayed by Alex Playton. Alex Playton was very instrumental in helping design Blix's look. She actually worked very closely with Rob Bottin and with Ridley Scott to conceptualize Blix as being sort of Keith Richards meets Goblin. Blix is kind of the rock star of the Goblin crew. Blix always speaks in rhyme and is incredibly threatening, menacing, and dangerous, yet is always sort of tongue-in-cheek and having a lot of fun.
Mortal world turned to ice. Here be goblin paradise.
There's a second green goblinish monster in Legend that, while not having a lot of screen time, I think really terrified most children, and that is Meg Mucklebones.
Sour-tasting fairy!
Meg Mucklebones is very scary. She's this green kind of sea witch or pond hag that wants to devour our lead character, Jack.
Who brings this tender morsel? Disturbing Meg Mucklebones' rest.
Meg Mucklebones is based on a real English folklore legend, and that's of Jenny Greenteeth. Jenny Greenteeth is a water spirit or a pond hag that would haunt a lot of dangerous waters, and parents would tell their children not to go near the waters or Jenny Greenteeth would eat them. The only way Jack can really defeat Meg Mucklebones is by really leaning into her greed and leaning into her vanity. He tries to flatter her, convincing her that she's a beautiful monster, when in reality she's just probably going to eat him.
What a fine fat boy you are, Jack.
You don't really mean to eat me, do you, ma'am?
Oh, indeed I
The monsters in Legend really prove that practical special effects and practical makeup effects are always scarier than CGI somehow. There's something about these monsters, whether it's Darkness or Blix or Meg Mucklebones, being real, being physical, being flesh and blood and foam and prosthetic and silicone, but still you can touch them. And I think as a child, and frankly as an adult, that's what still scares me today.